it's just hard to believe. It's hard to believe. I tell you, I was thinking the other day, you know, when we were making the, I think the first pilot, as I recall, I was on the MGM lot one day, and I'm talking about the mid-'60s. I think I have my time about right. And I was walking down the main street at MGM Studios on my way to the commissary. I don't know why I was there, but it was around the time of the first Star Trek pilot episode. And I saw these two figures walking down the street coming toward me. Couldn't make out who they were. They were kind of backlit by the sun, one of these really movie shots, you know. And they get closer and closer, and I'm walking down closer and closer. And as they get closer, I began to sense there was something important about these two guys walking toward me. They were fairly tall. They were dressed in Western clothes, like they're making a Western. They were wearing their boots and spurs, so they were clinking as they walked in step. Clink, 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 like that. As they got closer to me, I suddenly got a shiver because I realized that it was two old guys that as a kid I had gone to see in the movies. They were Randolph Scott and Joel McCrea.
You bet.
And they went clinking by me like a couple of giant guys.
Like two legends.
Whoa, whoa. And now I say to myself, wow, here we are. Over 20 years later, I wonder if some kid watches Shatner and Kelly and I walking down the street and probably has that same feeling. Here come these old guys, you know, still doing it. We've come around to relearning how to do this in a way. The first movie was a disappointment to me, essentially because it wasn't what we did. No. It didn't make use of what we know how to do. And it was, I sympathize with the people who had to make that movie because it was 11 years after we had done any Star Trek. The feeling was we must not make this like a television show because people would say, well, that's a TV show. So they were worried about that. They wanted to make it very theatrical and very different. And it was different, and different to the detriment of the experience, I think. From Star Trek II on, we have gradually relearned how to we've reinvented the wheel here, and we've got it turning again. And we are, each time, you're right, showing different aspects of what we can do with a Star Trek story. And I think we've become more and more comfortable with it. I love it. I really love it. And I think you're right. I think the audience enjoys that. The audience has come to expect a certain kind of repartee and chemistry. It's almost like George Burns and Gracie Allen doing what they do, and we do what we do, and the audience gets a kick out of it. We know how to do it. We've learned where the values are, where the chemistry is, and just how far we can go in ribbing each other and that kind of thing. And it's family. You're visiting family time after time.